Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, you are Brandon Gunn and Charles Davis.
Coach, we are just about set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. A few moments ago, they raised the 12th man banner, and this place, as usual, rocking and rolling. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. It always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill? Maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. Exactly right.
Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and off we go from Seattle. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin, a big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And one of the big bodies helping out this offense is your boy, your body.
And all he wants to do is have running plays called. Fire out and smack people.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Wilson. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Reloading!
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Disley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where he, the big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you might probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Looking to throw on second down. Wilson, it's throw incomplete. David Moore, the intended target, and it's third down.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant you the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State, the former Spartan. It's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable 3rd down receiver.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Cousins gives way to Cook. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Tommy Wagner's one of the more fluid middle linebackers in the NFL. Able to range deep in coverage, also able to rush the quarterback both inside and off the edge, and he's an absolute tackling machine in the running game.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. And that's caught by Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver.
I bet you
any defender
there's some white wide receiver that have a guarantee
executed crossing route.
like the season of his career.
Cousins on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 35.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way gun. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Throwing is Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
On first and 10, Cousins. Now went into the hands of Thielen, complete. No score after 1 on EA Sports. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second 7. Now Cousins. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Give credit to KJ Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
When you see passes knocked down, those guys are called the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers. You know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. To the air again, it's Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown Vikings. A 7-yard touchdown grab as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. That's why you got your star out there and throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. The 10-play drive that time, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a lead, and they'll start at the 25. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
6-man.
Wilson going to hand it to Price. And it's a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And these guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who clocked it up and say, geez, what did he do? But hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a run with Cook. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for this time. The tackle made by KJ Wright.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter. We got a whole lot of room there, but there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back. If you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and it often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown there. The Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 13-0. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Now Wilson on first down. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the delay, here's Carson. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended run, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up to tackle him.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wilson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 out of the dump off there, and that'll leave a 3rd down.
Everyone's going to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coach will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. The business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coaches. 2-minute drill.
Wilson to lock it there for the Seahawks first down.
This has to go down to the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice conclusion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On first down, Wilson. There he's caught right at the 10-yard line. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now the Seahawks can use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. Wilson. And that could be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time defensively. Nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. A line of scrimmage once again 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Now it's Wilson. And this will be incomplete.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And it's coming. The Vikings get a signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers from the right hash in a bit of a tight angle. And Myers able to knock it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the field goal there counts what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find one to get you to the end zone, get you 6?
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You guys lead. You don't need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try to add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you get some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Cousins now throw on first down. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawks touchdown. I think you're going at halftime with a good-sized lead, not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they get their focus back.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following a kick six. And now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. And he's looked pretty good. Does have one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be second down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Final play of the half, Cousins. And he backs it away and it falls down incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. Now, both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what do we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
That was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just boom, quick. And what a terrific play. Holding him to no gain.
Throwing on second down. Cousins looking middle, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the cat.
The last catch nearly got him the first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. They're working out of the gun. Cousins. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding third and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bend it down.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. Did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes one extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and kick someone at the second level.
No gain that time with a completion, and it'll be third down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. Now a give right side. It's Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they step in behind the line. There'll be a loss of one, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef, they want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're a barrel.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage.
Never got rid of Garoppolo. We should have just fucking gave him the money to have him sit.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time.
I kind of hope the
So a short drop, and he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick.
Garoppolo's good.
Officially, that it's a 52-yard run. Not too shabby. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They're out in 15 so far. First and 10. Play fake. Cousins. And now wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, but 9 times out of 10, just missed that one.
On second down now, it's Cook. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Calling no gain on the run there. Now they'll be looking at a third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter. No time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments, run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this play will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25 and will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. A very good move, but for a short gain out there to 32. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Pulling down on 3rd down. Wilson. He gets his running back. Close ice.
But I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. He has been consistent, has he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in the team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Well, you told me before, it's great to be an athlete. A lot of great athletes out there. It's good to have instincts, and he has those.
I would take those above athleticism in a lot of cases, because if you know where the ball's going before anyone else can get there and block you, you can make up for lack of athleticism by being in the right spot at the right time.
And took him down in the backfield with those instincts. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They run it again with Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has been a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this out of bounds. And out come the Seahawks. They're looking to do better than they did in their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, it's Wilson. Short throw to Disley. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, they weren't able to make anything really big out of that. But it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Wilson to throw. He'll dump it off to both sides. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. He's going to block it. The pick up there, 5 yards.
Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for offense.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find an open spot for the quarterback to deliver the ball.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
There's so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Wilson now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Here's Wilson. And an alley to run. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up the first inning.
I'm a defender. I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I can't give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays for the Lions, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a first down for Sienna. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver. We asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what I really liked about it. Where he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
I think they like this drive a little bit better than their partner. Running game helping out to cut some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And they're knocking on the door. Second and goal now in a one-score game. They'll look to throw. Flush to it. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
Wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation. But to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they won't make the last tackle. You mess up. Could come back at you a long way.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. And for the touchdown, here's Myers to put it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here to get it out to the 25-yard line. So Cousins and the Vikings down 17-14, a minute 51 on the clock. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. He's back to throw. It's complete to Davis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down with a sack and Siggy Ansah.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. Back to throw. It's complete to McCoy Treadwell. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
I think you got to use one here, don't you?
Without a doubt, I'd use one right here.
First down now, but that clock rolling. The Vikings going to yards on the catch there, brings up second down. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
It's a game 6. It's an elimination game.
So Cousins heads the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. This could potentially send us to overtime. And his kick at the 3. They'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Tie game and barring something incredible here, we're likely getting overtime.
Just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand up inside or more likely to take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So high ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota, except for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. From the ship in, it's Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there. It's second down. Another nice job there defensively. They really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs, when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a third down and 6 to go.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On third down, Cousins. Well, went into the hands of Thielen, complete. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up fourth. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially put a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation. Fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Returnable for Lockett. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Seahawks football, 1st and 10. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. Excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now part 1 is done, now part 2. Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. First throw in overtime now for Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. And now he's going to use his legs. And they're able to get this one across the 35. I guess no need to force it, and you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
As a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to gut. Tuck it and get all you can.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now what can Wilson do here in the 18? And he's got the hook up to middle. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps how a guy can turn it loose, where he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked very well.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Draw play. This is Carson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Double this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these guys make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon on for a very important punt here in overtime. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for the touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again, and they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time definitely to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. And he's caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. This being their 2nd opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive. See if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick the field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands. Critical situation. Now's their time.
Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going to the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
To throw his Cousins. And that is incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. He wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open. That would have been an easy throw.
There's Britton Colquitt now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now it's Lockett. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards, 1 stop. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored. That's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Gotta be careful though, right?
Yeah, too aggressive and just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take it down that way as opposed to being nickel and dime down the field.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They try to quick hit her inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They run again with Carson. Now Carson fumbles the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder, maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
It doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back that's getting off to a hot start, you got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before you get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
On 1st down, Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, is still able to pick up a nice solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases up there able to exploit right there.
From the 27, Cousins. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. And he was plus 5 seconds there with a football. Is there a time that a quarterback has to get rid of it?
somewhere generally around 3 seconds. So just like we're playing in our turkey bowl right in our backyards, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, that ball better be gone because anything past that, that's usually the end result.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. They got to get to the 23 here on third. Now Cousins. The pressure gets to him again. Jadavian Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. That's to win it in overtime. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. That's to win it in overtime. This one, now it's no good. Well outside the left upright, and we will play on here in overtime. But when you get that ball at OT, that's not the chance you envision, and the long field goal attempt here winds up lacking.
And you don't want to hang too much of this on your kicker, but he's going to leave you in a tough spot as well because you give your opponents excellent field position to start their first drive.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Now Wilson on first down. He gets his running back, close size. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
You guys like the Cowboys? Yeah, but they have the most primetime games, so we will be streaming what they
So the OT clock hit 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. Now on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
When we talk about players blitzing all the time, I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now here's Michael Dixon. And in double overtime, this needs to be a good one.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1 yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'll tell you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
And now out comes Minnesota. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And this will leave it a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
That first down run could not have turned out worse for a defense because when they came out on the field, their number one mission, keep them stacked up close to their goal line, and at worst, create great field position for their offense.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they look their chops in order to get the big hit or play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find the hole, make the catch. And a short gain there, so get up only to about the 24. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the 24, Cousins. And his throw here is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
You got to remember, because now that we're in overtime, mistakes get magnified. So you got to walk that line between being aggressive and being careful, because that was a dangerous throw right there. You obviously could not have an interception in this spot.
It nearly was an interception. He's lucky to get that one back. That's complete to the receiver fielder. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Charles, you're getting into these overtime situations. That's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Where they say, it's not the X's or the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Again, it's Cousins. Oh, it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. Johnson was the intended receiver. Well, just a minute ago, you said mistakes get magnified, especially here in overtime, and that turnover there could cost them the ball game.
And not many teams commit turnovers in overtime and come back and win. It's almost never happens.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time out there to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now you got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to gain from that.
Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. For the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Wilson turns and goes to Carson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss up that good deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up the first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Keeping the aggression going on defense in overtime here on first down blitz.
You know you can get burned on it big time if they pick it up. But in this situation, they brought the blitz, put some pressure on the QB, and he wasn't able to complete a pass downfield.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. This is Carson. And they regroup defensively after the broken tackle, getting to him just beyond the 45.
That's one of the reasons I like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow his offensive lineman to get up to the second level.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. He gets a smart glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why he lit up a little bit on meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, they talked about it.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well with the route tree, getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
From Viking territory now, they'll come out 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen. It turned into a really nice play.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now it's Carson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was, and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll keep it on the ground. Carson, and he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they took the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good. Go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And now the timeout comes in with just 1 second left in overtime. Cousins out. He's going to walk one deep left side here. Oh, and intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and he's able to get it back to right around the 27. 1 overtime, another 2. We need another. We're still leading. We'll switch sides and have that second overtime in just a moment. There's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, the chances of scoring some points, they feel pretty good about it. Thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand out.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Carson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And officially it will go as a 1-yard loss, so that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Really now stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know the securing the point of attack, especially against the big body guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
When it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. Now the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. All that and only nets in a yard. It's 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches an angle.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on third and 9. Another dope for the workhorse this afternoon. It's good. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, got the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Here's Brendan Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Taking about the 16. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And possession is with hands first and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, first and 10 at their own 24. They run it with Carson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It's Emerson Griffin who made the tackle.
But he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they rallied to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Carson, only a couple there, so he's gone down about the 28. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. What's the expression? 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. Here's Wilson to throw on third down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he gets this one just shy of 30, down at the 39. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Partners, a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Rolling to his right. Now he'll pull it down. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
And that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
They go play action with Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat down and away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force fourth down after that 7-yard pickup back on first.
They tried to run right to the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it, stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. This is away and a very good kick, angled to the sidelines. And now out comes Minnesota.
Cheers, everybody in here. Cheers.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he should have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, Mark. Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But it goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And again, the run defense stopped this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but enough on the spot, but no gain. So 3rd and long. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And this is Clark with the ground. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. I know they may want to go for this, but the smart play probably to punt it, even given the field position, right?
In a sense, you honor what they've done all game. And this is a defense that's held the score down, kept it tight, kept you right in it, and they're really jonesing for one more shot. Give it to them. Let them play defense for you and give you a better chance to win the game.
There's Britton Colquitt now, as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. And the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked it up on the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr.
Gives it off to Freddie Smith. Back to Cleveland. To Trey Burke.
So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bale. This to win it in overtime. And this one is no good. He missed it. And we will play on here in overtime. So it's his second missed field goal here. That wouldn't have ended the game, but it would have given him a leg up in OT.
And that's got to invigorate this defense. They did their part. Now it's time for their offense to put together a drive and seal the deal.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. They'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. So the OT clock hit 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. Following the interception, Cousins, and Rudolph has it, the tight end. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. It reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He'll tell his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. Kind of like put it up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They go play action. Cousins. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's fourth down.
It wasn't third and long. It was more like third and attainable. Oftentimes, offense just want to run enough to pick up a first down. But I think they wanted a break tendency there. Catch the defense playing for the short pass and push it downfield, and they almost collected a big play.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And now the up man has it. It's a fake. And shutting him off down open field. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big first down on the fake punt. What a call. 16 yards. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move. But oftentimes, he's a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands. He's able to pick up the first down.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. Now be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But the NFL, defense is awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just
either
not the time. But yeah,
either
you got it.
I just went right past it.
We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goal's from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank